Hi, everyone. My name is RPO Sepian, and I'm the English Language Arts Content Specialist for Sequoia Grove Charter Alliance. Today, I'm going to walk you through the CAASPP High School English Language Arts exam, specifically the performance task, to help empower you on your journey to being successful on the test. The objectives for my presentation really involve familiarizing yourself with the tools on the test so you're ready on test day. Number two, to understand the structure of the questions and tools you can use to answer them. Because as you'll find out in this video, not all questions are the same. Number three, we're going to practice using the tools to be sure you feel confident. And most importantly, I want to be sure all of you know how to reach out to me if you need any help or want to practice one-on-one regarding these questions. Now, when we look at the global tools that are built into the test, a lot of students that I've observed who've taken the test really don't even use these tools. And I always get frustrated as a teacher trying to explain that really the test writers and test creators have these tools built in to help you, the test taker, flourish on the day of the test. So in this video, I'm going to teach you about three important ones. First one's the highlighter. Second is the notepad, and third is the line reader. And before we dive deep into the actual test site and the practice test, I do want to put my contact information up here. So you can always feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or you want to practice the performance task on your own and want me to review your answer, or just want to have a deeper dive into the test preparation practice. Always feel free to reach out to me. And now let's go ahead and get into the test. So here we are, drum roll please, the actual practice test for the performance task. Now, I highly recommend before you start the test, just always take a deep breath and relax, because I know you're going to flourish on this test once you get a good handle on all the tools that we're going to teach you. First and foremost, you want to get comfortable with the interface of this page. You have the questions listed here, 1 and 2. We also want to get familiar with this back, next, save, and pause. Those are pretty common. But some of those tools that I was talking about earlier, this notes, the line reader, the zoom in, zoom out, you probably know. But have you ever really tried using these tools when you've been practicing? Well, I'm going to walk you through that just by doing one short example, just to be conscious and considerate of the time. On most of the performance tasks for the CAASPP test, you're going to be asked some type of task, like some type of real life project that they want you to think about working on. So you're supposed to imagine you're in economics class and the teacher's asking you to come up with some arguments whether or not financial literacy classes should be required or not. And what they have you do is they're going to have you look at different sources. So I always try to remind students that for these types of questions, you want to be ready and get your mind psyched up that you're going to be reading multiple sources, maybe 1, 2, 3. This example has 4, but I'm just going to model it for 1. Now, if you're like me, sometimes reading on a page like this can get really tiring. So you see these 2 arrows right here? If you click this one, it will enlarge the text, which will make it a little easier for you to read. And then you can even make that a little bit larger too by zooming in. So for my eyesight, this is going to be much more comfortable. Now, the first source that I'm going to be modeling today is one entitled Working Financial Literacy In with the 3 R's. Now, let's start using some of these tools. Now, next to this arrow, there is a button here that's kind of hidden that has these 3 little lines. You're going to hit Highlight Selection. But in order to make it work, you actually need to highlight it and go up here and pick any color you like. I'll pick orange, and I'm going to know that this is source 1. Now, knowing me, and the time is going to go pretty quick on the test, one tool that you can use in addition to that is your notepad. Now, your notepad is really zoomed in when you have it zoomed in like that. So let's zoom out a little. And right here in the notepad, what I encourage students to do is go ahead and write down source 1, and then use this space to write down any notes that will help you answer the question. Now, mind you, I haven't even looked at the question yet. I'm just trying to feel more confident as I'm getting into this test. So working financial literacy in with the 3 R's, I can keep it open like this. I could zoom in so I can read it a little bit better. Just know that it's going to make your notepad really enlarged. So I'll keep it like that. And you don't have to read everything word for word. We're just skimming through to kind of get an idea what this article's main idea is about. So I notice as I'm reading, it has some questions here. Should I buy a car? While no course in personal finance could have prevented many Americans from getting caught up in the housing bubble, it's going to go on. And what am I looking for? You might ask. I'm going to be looking for quotes, because I know in my English classes, my teachers taught me a really good way to write a good essay is to have quotes. So this quote, we need to teach the basic of economics and finance so people can make financial decisions in a changing world. So right there, I can write that down for source one, quote about basic, and then you can always abbreviate here, econ and finance classes. Okay. And then I can always hit save and close and my notepad can go away. And then I can keep reading to see, okay, are there other statistics I can pull up? Because I know my English teachers taught me in an essay, statistics are a great way to convince people about my point. And look at this right here, just 13 states. And again, I get my highlighter out here, require students to take a personal finance course or include the subject in an econ class before they graduate. And here we go, up from 7 states in 2007, 34 states and 28 states in 2007. So these are really good statistics to use. So I'm going to get my notepad out here and then put includes stats about states that have these classes. Okay. Now you might be wondering, why are these facts important? Well, my friends, once you come out of this area right here, you're going to come to a question that's going to ask you to paraphrase and refute information from source two without plagiarizing. Now, a lot of students that I know what paraphrase means, meaning putting things in your own words, but struggle with the word refutes. Okay, so what does refutes mean? You might look around to see is there a dictionary, but unfortunately on this part of the test, it does not exist. So refutes means something that goes against, like counter arguments. So what it's basically asking, what information in source one could serve as a counter argument against information from source two? So if I've got my notes out and I already know source one is all about having those basic econ and finance classes, when I scroll down to source two, and sorry, it's zoomed in here, it's a little hard to see, so I can always zoom out. I get to source two. It's entitled Finance Education Leaving Americans Behind. So I can already tell a hint by that title that maybe some of those financial education classes aren't doing what they were designed to do. So a very interesting quote that caught my eye here, against financial literacy education. So that's an interesting counter argument, right? Because the first one was all about the importance of it. Now, I'm going to leave answering this question up to you. But again, as you use these tools, you don't feel as lost when you need to go answer them. I do want to caution you, though, as you write your notes in your notepad, none of the information in your notepad will be scored. So as you write your information about source two, I could put quote that refutes source one. And so I can know, and I can go back and I can use some of the information here. So if you put some of the facts here, I've tried it, it won't let you copy paste. So just budget your time so you can be sure to take the information from your notepad and drop it into the answer. In another video, I'm going to help you learn how to answer question 2 accurately. Just as a sneak peek, this is a synthesis matrix where they're going to have you look at all the 4 sources here and try to figure out which claims each of them reviews. So last but not least, the line reader. The line reader is a wonderful tool that's often overlooked when students take this exam. So to recap, you'll just choose the line reader tool and go ahead and click on the text that you want it to read. When it's saying reader, it's not like it's going to read it out loud to you. It's just highlighting it for you so you can focus in on that reading. Now, all of us here at Sequoia Grove Charter Alliance are confident that you can do a wonderful job on this year's test. And again, if you have any questions, I already shared my email with you. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here to help and assist students, and I'm always cheering you on. So keep up the good work. Until the next video, take care, everyone.